I sure hope Spider-Man doesn't go emo on this one. I have always had a love-hate relationship with Spider-Man the movies. The first film I've watched a few times, and for the most part I really enjoy it. It's not perfect. The love story is very, very cheesy. One problem that I really had about the original film was the villain, the Green Goblin. I mean, William Dafoe is a great actor, and you really did not get him to shine in that costume. It turned into like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, and that was one of my major complaints about the first film. So I was really hoping that the second movie would be at least a little bit better. And for the most part, part 2, not only was it a really good superhero movie, it was a really great sequel with one of the best villains, in my opinion, that I've ever seen on screen. I felt that Alfred Molina was really good at Doc Ock, and you really sympathized with him, and you really cared about him, and when he was becoming this evil character, you know that there was a good man still inside. And I wasn't bothered too much about the love story. I know they always have to fit that in. You know, for some reason they always got to fit in a love story to get somebody to care. And sometimes it takes me out of the experience. I don't find anything appealing about it. I never felt any connection between the people that were falling in love, for the most part. But other than that, I think Spider-Man 2 is watchable. It's still a lot of fun. There's a lot of great little things that they put in there. They took a lot of risks, and that really paid off, and the action is really emotional and pulls you in. I mean, even thinking about now, I can feel that emotion. I care about it. Look, I love this. Here's Spider-Man 2. I mean, I own Spider-Man 1 back there, but here's my collector set of Spider-Man 2. I really dig this film. This is one of the coolest superhero movies in the last 10 years. I was really excited for Spider-Man 3 to come out, and all I can say about Spider-Man 3 is that it is utter crap. The movie is terrible. I hate it. I think it's one of the worst movies ever made. It's one of the worst films ever created from some of the most talented people. Oh my gosh, get it out. After thinking about that and hating Spider-Man 3 so much, I was hoping that we'd get Spider-Man 4, and I was hoping that we would get something, bring back all those characters. I like Kirsten Dunst, I like Tobey Maguire, I like Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is an amazing director, and I was really looking forward to getting the cast back together, put in a Bruce Campbell cameo. Let's get Spider-Man 4. But from certain events that, of course, I wasn't around to know, other than hearing a little bit in the news, they decided to forget Spider-Man 4. Let's end the trilogy on one of the crappiest movies ever. It's part 2, so I'm trying to forget. I'm just trying to forget about Spider-Man 3. And let's do it all over again. Now, how did that work? I have just seen The Amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Dennis Leary, Sally Field, Martin Sheen, and the villain was played by an actor's name that I'm not going to repeat right now because I'll butcher it. For most people, he's known to be in a film called Notting Hill. He's very, very funny. He's a really great actor. He's been around for a long time. Going into this movie, I had really high hopes. But one thing that really made me furious was the marketing for this film. Trailers showed way too much. Before I saw MIB 3, there was a 6-minute trailer that I decided, okay, forget it. I'm not going to even watch this. I watched it was like 6 minutes, I watched the first 2, and I'm like, you're showing too much. By the time we actually see the movie, we had seen everything that was probably cool in this actual film. So I decided to zone out those last 4 minutes. I'm almost to the point where I might watch the teaser, but then I don't want to watch anything else, but it's kind of hard because you go to the show, and they show you all these trailers before, and you can't help but be like, oh, I want to see what it looks like. Oh, I want to see what it looks like. So Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man 4. This is The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the reboot, the remake. To me, this is just a rehash. Now, I like the actors in this film. Everybody in this film looks really, really good. The special effects are astonishing. The look, the production value. The whole universe that is created. I mean, it looks really, really good. I like when Spider-Man is swinging back and forth. But what I don't enjoy is it was just a rehash of stuff we already know. Now, I don't read the comic books. I know that there are a few things. I was talking to a few of my friends after the movie, and they were saying that this is more true to the comic books because I guess now he has In the original movie, he organically shot stuff out of his arm, but in this movie, he actually makes a machine. So that was that was really interesting. But we know that he's going to get struck by a spider. I would have liked that if that was done. Do a little cool 5-minute tie-up. A little cool 5-minute like, okay, this is how blah 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 blah. Now let's get into the story. And for the most part, I was never bored, but I wanted to care more. I wanted to get into all these characters. I never felt that there was blood pumping in this film. It just I don't know, there was a barrier between me and, yes, I know, let me finish this review, I'm sorry. I never felt emotionally involved in this production. I wanted to care about the characters. I wanted to care about, Andrew Garfield does a good job, and you do get a sense of his character, you do get a sense of where he's coming from, but I never felt emotionally connected to this film, and that's, I think, the downfall of this movie. It has a lot of great stuff, and I can totally understand people falling in love with this film, especially the people that have read the comic books. I would never fault anybody for loving this movie, but for me as a moviegoer, I wanted to feel connected. I wanted to care, and I can't say that I didn't. So I'm really just trying to focus on all production. It looked really good. There wasn't any moments that I was like cringing, like, oh, I can't believe they just did that. There wasn't anything like that. I just didn't have a connection to this film. I enjoyed it for all the technical stuff and the special effects and the look and the feel, but it's quite forgettable. This movie is very forgettable. Here's to hoping for a much better sequel. I'm going to give The Amazing Spider-Man that wasn't that amazing 3 stars. You can like, comment, and subscribe to me on YouTube, and you can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here to We Live Film on YouTube.